I'm thinking about the sting of death. I work in a funeral home, and I help people with advanced plans. I also meet with people to try to help. We call it family service follow up. When someone loses someone, right after the director meets with them, I go in and meet with them for a short time. And so I deal with death all the time. I want to just relate quickly to you three experiences and I do a bunch of funerals anymore. Um, and I've been doing funerals for over 49 years, so it's not a new topic for me. But last week I met with a lady, probably in her late 60s, I would guess, whose 40-year-old daughter was murdered. And then she came back and asked me to do the funeral. I'm doing it a week from this coming Friday. Tough. The sting of death, the loss that people go through is just amazing. Today, I had a lady come in whose 28-year-old son dropped dead of a heart attack, just died. She's destroyed. She's just devastated. I also and I put out a prayer video for this second woman, a 38-year-old. I think she's 41, but her husband was 38. Wasn't feeling good, pulled over while they were driving with their 3 kids. And she went over to help him. He was obviously real sick. He died in her arms. The sting of death right in front of her and her kids. And going to be a tough haul for them, okay? So the sting of death. And one of the things she said, why did God take him? I tried to be gentle, but I said, God didn't take him. God doesn't kill people. The devil is the one who created death. He got people to sin, dropped off into it. Sin created death, okay? And God doesn't take people. So it's the devil's fault. God tries to hold people in his arms when they lose people, okay? So I was thinking, what passage really works for that? 1 Corinthians 15:55 through 58 says, the sting of death is sin. The power of sin is the law. Okay, the sting of death comes from sin. Who got sin going? The devil did. The devil's the one who brings on death, okay? And the power of sin is the law. Law defines sin, and thereby when you define sin, you're leading to death, because sin is ultimately what kills. But he says this, but thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. When you come to Christ, yeah, we're all going to die physically, but that's just opening up the gates of heaven for the Christ follower. It takes the sting of death out of it. The sting of death is out of that, okay? Because you know that there's life on the other. All you did is move out and move into your eternal home. That's all that happened if you follow Christ. Verse 58, therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. It's not in vain to sit with people when they lose someone and their heart is broken. And I do that way too often, okay? And then I help people with the funerals. So I care about that. I care about that. The sting of death. When you know Jesus, the sting of death is whooped. Hope you know Jesus, because he'll whip the sting of death for you. Hope you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell and all that stuff.